Welcome everybody to Car Meet Garage. My name is Don Middleton and we're here with our buddy Rich.
Hey guys.
Pretty much everybody knows Rich from the Car Meet, from the Bay City Car Meet stuff. And he's got a Ford Ranger that's got a lot of stuff done to it. We're going to get to that. But first, we're going to get into a little bit about Rich and what got him into the car scene and why.
Okay. Well, I started off when I was about 17, 18. Met a guy named Jay Williams down in Oklahoma where I lived. He ran a shop called Hardcore Tires and Services. Pretty much, he taught me almost everything I know about tires, oil changes, everything, like just basic maintenance stuff. And I grew to love it. It was something that after school and then after work, I would go there and I would help change tires, do oil changes, just keep up the shop, just help him out, and he would teach me stuff along the way. And then it just got to the point where it turned into a big passion. It got to where I love cars, I love being around them, I love the noises they make. Yeah, do I know how to work on them? No, not at all. But this is why I'm here. That's why we're learning.
Right, now we got to start somewhere.
Exactly, you got to start somewhere. And of course, I decided to start building my very first drag truck out of a Ford Ranger, as you told everyone. Which, to a lot of people, they laugh, they giggle, and then you tell them what's going in it, then they kind of just look at you dumbfounded, which it makes you feel good in a way. To have a truck that's going to go from maybe 150 stock horsepower to we're hoping to be pushing 400.
Right. So how long have you had the Ranger? And now we've established that it's a Ranger. What year Ranger is it?
It's a 2000 Ford Ranger XLT, two-wheel drive, extended cab.
How long have you had it?
This winter will actually be 3 years of owning it. Bought it off a little old farmer up there by Pinconning area. And I hated how lifted it was. I've always wanted a step-side mini truck, and I finally found one for the right price. And then, long story short, was out driving around one day and stumbled across the old Bay City Car Meet, just cruising around by, Euclid Plaza, where we first started going.
Yep.
And then ever since then, it's just kind of been, I stuck around like a lost puppy.
Yeah, I think there's actually characters in Fast and the Furious are like that with Dom, right?
Yeah.
So if
like
you're
Jesse and all them.
So are you like Jesse then, or are you like?
No, Jesse was good with numbers.
Okay.
If I would have to think of myself as anyone, it'd probably be like Vince.
Yeah, I could see that.
Got an attitude every now and again.
Yeah.
Still loves his family and whatnot.
Your left flank hurts all the time.
Will always hurt somebody if you have to.
Right. So,
excuse me.
When you got the S10, how long did it take you to?
I don't own an S10.
Or sorry, when you got your Ranger, how long was it before you started modding it, and what was your very first mod you did to the truck?
God, it was almost instantaneously. Like, as soon as I got it, I sent off to have hub-centric wheel adapters made for it to put the Subaru rims that I have on it. And that's right, you heard right.
I remember that.
An exotic set of Subaru rims. Everyone loves them. They're confused by how'd I get them on there. And it's like, you just have to get a custom bolt pattern for it. Because the Ford Ranger is a small 5-lug and the Subaru is a medium 5-lug, just a little bit off. So you had to get the hub-centric wheel adapters to be able to squeeze those on there, but I think it made the truck look good.
They definitely make the truck stand out, that's for sure.
It does. And then right after that, maybe a couple months after meeting Car Meet Greg, it was out here in his driveway and we were dropping the suspension on it.
Yeah, because I know it was, a year ago you did the job on it, right?
Yeah, right before the Cool City Car Show.
Yeah.
Was trying to get it ready, but never got it done for that Cool City Car Show. It went in primer, and then this past Cool City Car Show, it had body work done to it again, because obviously, like we've all said before, you can't just leave something well enough alone. You always have to mess and mess and mess.
We have to screw it all up.
Pretty much. Yeah. So I went from having a very unique truck with a very unique paint job to a very unique truck with a very patchy paint job. But she looks good still. She's fun. Has a very loud radio system in it right now. I think it has a little over 1,000 watts. And it's not turned up all the way just because it's in a Ford Ranger. It got two 12-inch Alpine Type Rs. And we get the back window rattling pretty good, to the point to where we've almost popped it a couple times now.
mean, it makes for a good video if the window pops out, by the way.
It does. I do plan on popping it out when we do get a roll cage put in there. I do plan on having a couple buddies. We're going to turn it up all the way and see how many windows we can pop out.
Nice. And speaking of the roll cage, that'll kind of roll us into what's going on with the truck right now.
Well, right now, we are doing a Chevy 5.3 LS swap with a 4L80 attached. And right now, over here, we got the whole top end getting rebuilt, putting all aftermarket parts, Texas speed cam, just doing it right the first time so I don't have to tear it out again, because we're putting a giant engine in an itty bitty spot.
Like I said to you earlier, buy once, cry once.
Exactly. And I'm crying a lot right now, though. Like, this ain't been a cheap undergoing at all. Just to do this whole top end, I think we got almost $2,000 into it, just in parts alone. That's not labor. That's nothing. That's just parts that I could afford. And it kind of destroyed the mission of the truck at first, because I wanted to show people that you could still build a fun truck on the cheap, which before the engine swap, yeah, you could. Like, I bought the whole sound system minus the subs, got off eBay, the radio, eBay or Amazon, just a whole bunch of cheap stuff. I wanted people to see that, hey, he's still having a lot of fun and he's doing it on an extreme budget. Like, the whole truck, a lot of people don't know this, it was rattle canned. It wasn't done by a professional. It didn't have a spray gun. It was me outside in the elements with a rattle can. And it turned out halfway decent for being the first time ever doing it.
Right, and nowadays you can do a spray paint job and it actually turns out fairly okay. Where before, 20 years ago, you couldn't do that. You could always tell.
Oh yeah, you'd have runs, big blotches.
Yeah,
like, you could tell a lot on my hood. If you ever look at my hood closely, you could see the lines, the unevenness of it, just because spray can. You can't get full on a good spray pattern off a cheap can.
Right.
That's how it is.
So what are your, now that you're putting the 5.3 in it, what are your goals for the truck? Are you going to it's going to be just a cool cruiser? You're going to drag race it? You're going to, or like all of the above?
Pretty much all of the above. I'd like it to be a drive and drag truck kind of thing. I want it to be still streetable. I still want to be able to use it just to cruise around, go to shows with and whatnot. But I also want to be able to hit a switch or just switch out tires real quick, put the foot to the floor and show that it has what it needs to get down the road with everyone else now. Because as you know, when we go on our cruises and stuff, just me putting along in the back trying to keep up with everyone. And I got to the point where, no, we're going to have people keeping up with me now. That's what I'm hoping for, at least.
That's a hell of a goal, too. Makes it more fun.
It does.
So fast isn't fun for everybody. Fast is fun for me. Fun for
exactly.
You.
I love fast.
Most people that I know, fast is fun, but that's not everybody's whole gig. And like even your truck is kind of a mix of both, because like I know stereo heads and I know fast people, and you're putting a decently built 5.3 in something with a good stereo, and this will be like the mini truck scene too, and you kind of got that covered too.
Pretty much. And then with all the lights and everything, I love the early 2000 eras with all the lights, and when they first coming out with you remember the tube lights and everything.
Oh, hit a
bump and you just destroy your whole system.
Yeah.
He's done it a few times now at this point. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But nowadays, like you were saying in the last episode, that you could get LEDs and everything for so cheap. Like everyone that knows my truck, they don't know me. They know my truck. Right. They know it at nighttime. The headlights, I'm one of the few trucks in town that has headlights that could go multicolor and still turn off and have the regular, just plain LED
right. Your
headlights.
truck for sure stands out. When you're coming on the road, you definitely know it's you. If you come over to the house, it's not, who's that random shitbox friggin' Ranger out in the driveway? You know it's Rich, because the paint job stands out. The wheels stand out. Everything about the truck stands out, and that's
pretty much
what you need.
And motherfucking son of a gun! Motherfucking Ford Ranger! That's
what I love about it. It's not everyone's doing something with the Ford Ranger. Everything that you see with the Ford Rangers nowadays, they're junking them, they're just beating on them, they're beating them to shit. And I want to bring it back to life. It's a step side. It's pretty much the whole truck's almost fiberglass. Like it's the perfect platform, I think, to make a nice little drag toy out of.
What motor was in it originally?
It had the horrible 3.0 flex fuel V6 engine, and You've seen it. It was horrible.
Yeah.
You had to put your foot to the floor just to get across the light, just to go across the street. And now I'm glad it's getting out of there. I really am. She's going to be a lot of fun. Ain't going to be nothing like this behind us here, but she'll be a lot of fun.
That's all that matters. And all that matters is you have fun with it. That's all that matters. That's the end goal of the entire car scene, is that you need to have fun with what you have.
Exactly.
If you're not having fun, change it up.
That's what the beauty of making a car and making it your own is. You do what you want when you want. If you don't like it, change it. You don't like where it's going, go a different route with it. And you hear a lot of people, well, ain't you going to worry about gas mileage and everything? And like all of us car guys, it's like, it's not about the miles per gallon, it's the miles per gallon. And that's what it's about. And realistically, I think in the Ranger, I don't know, but I think I should be getting pretty decent gas mileage with the power to weight ratio. That big engine doesn't have to move a whole lot of weight. So I'm hoping to get a little bit better gas mileage, because now I think I get like 10 to the gallon and it sucks.
I've seen the specs in your cam. It's going to be about that.
Yeah.
it's a big boy.
It wasn't a small cam.
No.
I don't remember. If you donated that cam to me, please leave in the comments so we can throw out a thank you. But it's a big Texas Speed cam.
It is. It's a pretty meaty boy.
It's stupid big, and pretty much we built the whole top end around that cam. And she's going to be something different. So be on the lookout, everyone. Coming hopefully at the beginning of this next season, we'll be unveiling it at the Bay City Car Meet, the opening day. And you guys know where you can find me, and you can find Car Meet Greg over at the car booth. We'll be doing a whole bunch of merch this year. I know Don, he's got a lot of stuff coming. I know we're going to try to be doing a lot of good burnout stuff this year. He's been doing a lot with the filming and everything this year. He's been helping us out a whole lot. And this next season, I know it's going to be just off the charts.
I'm going to cry.
Just a little bit.
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But
right.
Like a lot of people don't understand, like there's a lot that's going on in the background to make all this happen.
Oh, right. And like these aren't even supposed to be about like the car meet thing, but in all reality, that's how we all like I've been in the car scene forever, right?
Exactly.
But that's how I met you and became friends with you, and how we became friends with Greg and everybody else. I have a whole new friggin' like car meet group friends, and it's so fantastic. And that's where things like this are so awesome, is because people see you sitting behind the merch booth every single meet religiously, and they're like, what about that guy? Because most of you is you on the blowhorn yelling something.
Pretty much. Either I'm yelling at people, yelling to get things going, or I'm just sitting there selling merch, trying to get things going. I don't usually try to vibe for a whole lot of attention, even though my truck does. But like I said, people go to the truck, they don't go to the person. 9 times out of 10.
Pretty much.
Like, that's the fun and the downfall of being a car person. Like, we've all done it. We all go straight to the car, right past the owner. Like, ooh, look at this. Right. Then it's like, oh, hi, you built this, didn't you?
Right. Because even if you look at someone's car and you don't like everything about the car you're looking at, but you might find something that you're like, I might be able to do that on my build, and it'll look cool. And that's kind of the end goal when you're doing something custom, like what's on your Ranger, is that you're doing enough custom work that someone can look at it and be like, I kind of like the idea. Maybe not exactly that, but they like the idea of it, and they can do it their own way. And that's how car builds, the whole thing gets changed over time, right? Is that I come and look at your truck and I see something that I like, or a light somewhere. I'm like, man, I wonder if I can do that on one of my F-bodies or something. And then I do that. The next thing you know, another F-body guy sees that, does that. And you walk over to someone else's car and you see, I can guarantee everything on your truck wasn't something that you're just like, here. It came from seeing a visual. You've seen it somewhere else first, and you're like, bet you I can do that. Bet you I can do that on my own thing.
Well, and what's funny that you say, like, visually seeing it, like, if you've seen the early Fast and Furious movies, like the first couple, not when they got into all this crazy BS save the world thing.
Fast and Furious ended up being a 7. So.
But it was great when the first couple movies were out, when it was still about the car scene. And that's where I fell in love with cars deeply, was watching the very first one. Like that Supra and the Eclipse. Like, who does that with vehicles in the normal world? No one. No one could do that. Well, we know you did. But normal either.
Right, well, that's fair enough. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was, I hate to say it, and I'll get made fun of a lot, but I don't care. Like, the first couple movies, that was a big inspiration of my car world for me. It was something, I've always been a fan of the 67 to 69 Dodge Chargers, and that love started with the Dukes of Hazzard, which is, funny enough, a show that was way before my time, believe it or not, but it was one of my favorite shows growing up, and to see a car go through the air every week was like, I want to do that. Still haven't got to jump a car yet, but I'm hoping one day I'll get to.
Yeah, it's because I was just at Cletus and Cars.
Yeah.
So when we watched there with the 2.4 hours of lay mullets, and watching that van jump was something different, dude.
Oh, I bet it was a rush.
My God, dude, we were like, it landed. So I don't know if you want to be in a vehicle jumping like that, dude, because when it came down, dude, you felt that in your chest.
It didn't look pleasant coming down, and with bad backs and everything, I don't think me and you would want to be trying to do anything stupid like that. But at the same time, you have to admit it does look fun.
Yeah, it did kind of look fun if I was like 22 and you had a good
Either 22 or we know we're dying in a couple days and it's time to just, let's go.
So beyond all that, we're kind of getting off in the left field.
A little bit.
But whatever. But welcome to conversation with Rich and I. But,
exactly.
Right. But anyway, so if you had to think about your truck in the next 5 years, where do you see it?
Oh, God, its next 5-year plan, I would love to see it making anywhere from 8 to 1,000 horsepower.
There we go.
I've always dreamed of doing twin turbos, as someone else behind me is doing. And that's always been a dream of mine. But first and foremost, we just got to do the proof of concept and get the 5.3 shoehorned into the Ranger and pretty much run naturally aspirated for the first couple seasons, because I have no seat time in a car with real power. I mean, I'm going to be straight up with you. The fastest car I ever drove was my Ford Escort ZX2. And it was fun. It was fun, but it ain't going to be nothing like what we're going to do to this truck.
Right.
And I'm terrified. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I've never sat in anything. I've rode with you guys.
Right. And that's the good mentality to have, actually. So if you're a little bit intimidated by it, that's where you're going to keep yourself safe.
I'm hoping so.
So anybody who says they're not scared of their car a little bit doesn't make enough power. They're lying, or they're either lying or they don't make enough power.
Exactly. Because I've rode with Greg at the drag strip and on the streets, and his car pulls enough how it was sitting before he tore it apart. It'd make me get butterflies. And then I've rode with you a couple times, and rode with Mike a couple times, and it's just, every time it's just a wild ride being in cars that have that kind of power. Like, you think your factory Beamer has something, it don't. It don't. And just like these factory turnkey cars, yeah, I get it, they're fun. They're a lot of fun. But someone like this Camaro behind me, or my truck, or your cars, like, you got time, effort, blood, sweat, tears into it. Like, it's just so much more fun. So much more fun than...
You appreciate your car more if you're the person who's building it.
Exactly. And not even just that, the friendships and bonds that you're making as you're building them.
Right, that's like 99% of it. Because I know even when I was having the issues with my the Power Wheel thing, and I called Rich and I'm like, "Hey, can you give me a hand real quick?" Yeah, no problem.
Exactly.
You know? Now the kids love the hell out of that police truck.
Yeah, it's crazy. I still can't believe you put that much power into a little bitty kid's toy.
Well, if you're a real car guy when.
Exactly. And they love it, like you said. They have a good time. Yeah. We did the drag events with them for the
Oh my God,
wheels.
The kids absolutely love those. I can't actually. I'm looking for another Power Wheel, even if it doesn't work. Looking for one as a donor so that we can do another giveaway.
That'd be fun
for next year again. Because last year we gave away that Porsche.
That Porsche one.
Yeah, and that kid loved it.
Oh yeah, I still hear and see on Facebook he's still driving the piss out of it.
Yeah, I don't think he got out of it after he won that. He never got out of it. He just drove that thing.
Drove it till the battery died.
Yep.
Which is awesome. We'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I love it, man. It's been a wild ride since I met everyone here. The amount of advice and knowledge that I've gathered from just all of the people that's been helping me with this project has been out of this world. Like, yeah, you could go to YouTube and get some knowledge and whatnot, but that's going to be scattered knowledge.
It doesn't beat hands-on.
Exactly. It doesn't beat having someone come over here, tear down your engine, show you what's what, show you where to put it, how to do it. And it's great for someone like me that's never done anything like this, never done an engine swap, never built anything fast. It's a learning curve, and it's a fun one. I am enjoying it to the point to where I can't wait till the next step. I want to learn that next step. Like with the engine we're doing right now, we have to get the head sent off and everything, and I'm hoping that they'll let me film them doing the heads so I can learn and see what they're doing when they do the rebuild part of it. Like the decking, yeah, I've seen heads decked 100 times over.
Yep.
But when they're building it for, I think, 60 over 600 lift or something like that, I don't remember the exact specs that Joe told me to get it done at. See, new to this, don't know anything about it. But long story short is I would love to learn that process also. So hopefully the people that we take them to will be cool enough to teach. And that way we could teach from our stuff. And that way we could help the next generation of car people or whatever. Because nowadays, you know, you have to look it up on YouTube, Google, whatever, to get shit done. Like, I build stuff for the car all the time, and I see myself on YouTube looking for, oh, how do you take the transmission out of this Ford Ranger? Or, you know, just suspension, just the whole 9 yards.
No, it's still a beautiful tool.
It's a very beautiful tool, and it's something that I value a lot. I really do. I value that stupid website more than anyone could ever imagine.
Yep, I've been wrenching for a long time just as a hobbyist, and even I need to get my YouTube mechanic badge. I think we all need it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, you could go to school and be a certified mechanic all you want, but until you've had to crawl under a car with a phone and fucking listen to someone give their introduction and everything, and you just lay under a car dripping fluids while you wait for this asshole to tell you what to do.
Oh, I 100% appreciate my friends that are mechanics and stuff, because I have a lot of them that are actual mechanics. But like, you start getting into a conversation about, well, you have to do it this way. Well, that's the way the book says, but you know, I've been doing, you know, 4th gen F bodies forever, so there are certain things that I can do, especially on my retarded LT1 F bodies, that I can do it faster than what the book says, because I've been doing it for so long. You found different ways and made different tools, but and that's something that you can learn off of just mechanic stuff.
And long story short, get a Sawzall.
Just Sawzall it off.
That's how I got the transmission out of the truck today. Cut the exhaust out of the way instead of unbolting it.
Right. See how we're going to do. Seeing how now we're in center field. And we've kind of covered everything else.
We've covered everything.
So people might want to follow you on social media.
I post a little bit on TikTok. You can find me on TikTok, but most of the time I'm on either Facebook or the Bay City Car Meet YouTube page. Other than that, if you need to get at me personally to ever reach me for any merchandise things or whatever, you can always find me on the Bay City Car Meet page.
All right. Well, thank you, Rich, for
appreciate it.
Sitting down and talking with us.
Appreciate it, and appreciate you guys for joining us today, and we'll see you this spring.
Yep. See you guys in the next one.